Hey, how's it going, everybody? All right. So just want to take a look at Bitcoin and a few of my favorites that I'm accumulating, planning to build bags. Uh, yeah, so Bitcoin, Hype, Render, TAO. Spoken about these several times on this channel and in the Alpha Factory. If you're not a member of the Alpha Factory yet, hop in there. It's well worth it. So I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin first. I'm seeing on X, I'm getting messages from people I'm close with saying, "Hey, why is everybody so afraid on X? What's going on? What's happening with Bitcoin?" Guys, we got to relax. We're in this upward trending, higher high, higher low parallel channel. We've been finding some good support here on the median, um, where we just had a higher high. We're going to come back. Like, Bitcoin has to consolidate. It's been running since the beginning of April, the end of March. It needs to calm down, and that's fine. That's part of it. That's where we find our entries. So what I'm expecting is for Bitcoin to find support right somewhere around 75, or maybe we make it to the bottom of the channel, which is fine, which would actually be another retest potentially on this uh, macro descending trend line, which I did a video on this before. Every time Bitcoin um, broke one of these macro descending trend lines, it never went back in. That was a major signal of the end of um, a bear market or one of these major moves within bull markets. And that's my position. I believe that this here has been a big correction, a big crash within a bull market. Okay, but anytime that these have been broken, come back and retested, that was it. Whether it was within a bear market, like these past ones, let me just jump back here, right? Whenever it was broken, this could go here, this could go up here. Um, but whenever it was broken, retested, it was over. Right? We have this trend broken, retested, it was over. We've been through this before in videos, um, right? Broken, this massive trend, broken, gone. Okay, let's go back to what we're talking about today. So this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm watching for. Also, if you pull up some more indicators here on the daily, we pull up the bear market support or bull market support band. We can see here that we are currently at it on the daily. Okay, we just kind of broke through it, but I like to watch for the bigger moves, the 3-day or the weekly. So the 3-day, we've broken above it. We're still above it. If we came back and we tested um, this support range, it aligns pretty well also with the bull market support band. If we, which is brings us to around the 75, 74,500 range. If we hop back over here, we turn on this, here we go. We can see that the 100-day and the 50-day is right around that range also, right around the range of this median. So the first area that I'm watching for Bitcoin is right around here, right around the median and right around this 75, 74,500 dollar range, right? That's where I'm watching. However, and what I would expect also to happen is for us to get this cool down on the MACD and for the blockchain decoded Z score to also come back down. And that's why I have this drawn in here for us to have another signal on the daily, like we have been on this parallel channel for every main buy zone. Now, if we move it to the 3-day, if we move it to the 3-day, we can see we have down here more moving averages, the 20-day here that we can come down, same range. We've got where's the bull market support band on the 3-day? Yeah, so we talked about this, same area. So there's a lot. showing us we could go down to this point. However, um, if we see a bounce here on the moving average on the BDZ score, most likely what we're going to see is this daily play out, where the daily we come down, we have a reversal, we have this print, but on the 3 day we get the bounce here on the moving average. That's the scenario where we find the bounce here. The scenario where it goes a bit deeper, and this is also a possibility that I'm watching for. The scenario where we go a little bit deeper and test the bottom part of this channel, where we see something like this, it will also show up in the BDZ score on the 3 day where we come down here before we turn around and we hit the trigger, right? So that would give us also something similar to one of these, right? So we'd see that on the MACD, where on the MACD we would turn red and we spend some time in the red before we came back around. We got the crossover somewhere. Who knows where it's going to turn up? But something like that, it would be a deeper move to the bottom of this channel, which is fine. It gives people more opportunity. And like I mentioned before, that would be another retest of this trend line, most likely. So that would bring us down into the low 70s, which would be, um, if you're still bullish overall, which would be very good if you're sitting in any stables. And I have stables set aside, probably, I think it's about 25%, 25 to 30% of my portfolio is still stables. That's when I start looking at Hype, Render, and TAO, because those are the ones that I want to accumulate. So what we could see here then is a breakdown of this channel, which it has to happen at some point. Excuse me, state. And then let's go to the 3 day. It's a younger chart. And then maybe we come back down here and test this 200-day moving average at about $35, which is fine. Because we've been spending a lot of time here up above the moving average on the BDZ score. It does need to cool off and come back down. Um, so it'll still be it'll be a healthy move. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm watching for on Hype, somewhere around there possibly. Do we have? Yeah, that probably the bull market support band on the weekly, which is fine. On Render's been holding. It broke out of this falling channel, came back in for a retest on the top of it, which is really good, sitting on the daily bull market support band, came back on and retested the moving average on the BDZ score. But then that's where I like to add some more extra indicators. It looks like we still need to cool down a little bit here on the MACD. So, in my opinion, we're probably going to see a little bit deeper. I'm not sure if we get back, if we fall too deep and back into this range, maybe we come back and we test the median of this falling channel, falling wedge. But we'll see. If we look at the 3 day, again, if we come back down and we print another S, that could take us back down into this pattern once again. I started DCAing in a little bit into render. I didn't have a very big bag. I started building up my bag. But I think when the bull market comes, it's going to do really well. So if I have um, a steady DCA in this range, buying off indicator signals, not FOMOing in, not trying to time bottoms, but taking my cue from the indicators that I like to use, I think that's going to end up being a really good balanced entry. Again, looking at TAO, another one that I like, but trying to show patience on the weekly, it looks really good. Probably going to get a bounce. I would assume that we're going to get a bounce here on the the moving average on the BDZ score, but this takes a long time to play out. So I'm watching on smaller time frames, and it looks like on the smaller time frames it needs to cool off a little bit. And if we come back down, we break this moving average, BDZ score comes back down to print another S eventually. That might bring us back down into the bottom part of this parallel channel, which historically has been just killer entry points. Um, if you bought all of these, whenever we hit this channel, even still today, you'd be in profit, even though that this has been trending down. So that's what I'm watching for. It's a bag. I don't own any TAO. It's one that I've been watching closely and most recently have been talking about building a bag again into. Um, but I don't want to rush, so I'm trying to be patient. Okay, so that's what I'm watching. The indicators I am keeping close, paying close attention to. The triggers I'm waiting for. Um, like and subscribe if you appreciate um, the content. If you're paying attention to any of these coins, add a comment to the coin that you are building positions on. I'll take a look and maybe they'll show up in my next video. All right, guys, follow us on the Alpha Factory. Link is in the description. Chat with you soon.